Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mayor Maya Tate with an address for April the 20th. As I begin, I do wish to acknowledge that we are gathered on the territory of the Sauk Nation. I would like to begin by recognizing Nova Scotia. My heart is with the victims and families of the mass shooting that occurred over this weekend. And Constable Heidi Stevenson, a 23-year veteran of the Nova Scotia RCMP, died Sunday morning while responding to the active shooter incident. It's a very tragic event, and our thoughts are with you, and we're standing with all of you during this time. I'm now going to proceed to give some updates, starting with the District of Sauk and Council. So you may recall that we held a special meeting on March 31st. The intent of this meeting was to adopt our 5-year financial plan. However, direction to staff at that meeting, given that all of the budget meeting occurred in pre-COVID times, was for staff to return to council with ideas on how we can amend our budget to reflect the current situation. Council meetings are now back to the regular schedule every second Monday. However, we are meeting remotely with the use of the Zoom platform. Our meeting on April the 14th, it is recorded and is available for viewing on the District of Sauk's website. And the next regular meeting is scheduled on April 27th. Council is always available by email at council@sauk.ca. We are still limited on how we can include the public, so for this moment, this will need to be done via email to info@sauk.ca. Some highlights from our April 27th meeting included: with development procedures, we directed staff to report back on amendments on procedures that would enable us to maintain compliance, public transparency, and progress applications while meeting the public health orders. For our official community plan, a status update is that the project here is expected to span at least 2 years. 2020 will now focus on a technical review. The last update for the OCP was completed in 2010, and there has been several revisions since its adoption. It is now timely for us to complete the full review with serious consideration given to the district's direction for growth and how best to protect things that our community values the most. For community grants, this year's program has been eliminated, and we will be reconsidering for 2021. As community needs are still in a state of flux, as many of the programs are, we feel it was the most responsible decision to make at this time. It is wonderful to hear about additional funding sources being made available to support many of our core service agencies, such as the Victoria Foundation's donor-driven Rapid Relief Fund. We're grateful that many community organizations in Sauk have now received funding in that way. We have also directed staff to obtain clarity on some line item fundings within our budget, as there is a connection between the line items and the grant policy. Other district matters: the provincial tax framework adjustment. The province is allowing for local governments to delay school tax remittance in order to help municipalities manage cash flow concerns. Provincial measures also include the ability for us to borrow from existing capital reserves to pay for operating expenses. However, it is our opinion that with the allowable delay in school tax, the District of Sauk will not need to borrow from existing capital reserves. And please note that staff will be coming to Council with a report in the coming weeks. I'd also like to remind everyone that the province does have a property tax deferment program in place for anyone 55 years and older, as well as families with young children. There is an online tool that you could use your assessment and mortgage loan details to see if you qualify, as there is minimum equity requirements within that program. You may have seen on Twitter that street sweeping will be kicking off on April 21st. So we are asking that residents park off the streets to enable the work to occur over the next 4 weeks. The sweepers come by starting at 5 a.m. until 2:30 in the afternoon, and they will start on April 21st on the west side of the Sooke River, covering streets north of Highway 14. If parking off-street is not an option, perhaps if you see or hear the sweepers coming through, please move your vehicles temporarily. Calls for service. Residents may continue to report any maintenance concerns by completing the online form on the district website, by calling the district and leaving a detailed message, or sending an email to info@sooke.ca. Please provide as much detail as possible, including a description of the issue, location, and contact information should a follow-up be necessary. Building permit applications continue to be accepted electronically by emailing building@sooke.ca, or they can be hand-delivered through our drop box at the district entrance. Land development applications are still being accepted, and those can be directed to planning@sooke.ca. Permit applications are also being accepted at engineering@sooke.ca. Payments for property tax, permits, business license are all being accepted through drop-off at the main entrance, and any queries can be sent to finance@sooke.ca. We have many residents who require proof of life service for international pensions. These can be arranged by appointment through phone or email, so please contact info@sooke.ca. Fire inspections continue to occur and will be prioritized and conducted at the discretion of our fire inspector. FireDept, F-I-R-E-D-E-B-T, so fire department for short, or firedepart@sooke.ca with any queries. All of our road maintenance contractors and park staff are continuing to work and do essential work, so please practice social distancing by not approaching them closely with any questions or concerns. Our CAO, Norm McInnes, and I are also in conversations on how we may progress Sooke's community development plans that were scheduled to appear in person this month in a virtual setting. It's timely now more than ever that we find collaboration and synergies amongst community stakeholders. Bylaws and parks. For backyard barning, our bylaw and fire departments have been very busy responding to numerous complaints. It has been a record month, and we're asking residents to be compliant to help take the pressure off these departments who are already stepping up to support the community during the pandemic. Please be reminded that no backyard burning of garden or yard debris is permitted at this time, but small campfires no bigger than 2 feet across in a contained ring are permitted. Before calling to report any illegal burning, please ensure that it's not a campfire that's being enjoyed. This is a province-wide restriction, and we wish to thank all the residents who are composting their garden and yard waste. As an alternative, while the district continues to explore other viable options, green waste can be disposed of at A&P Garbage Disposal and Recycling at 6220 Maryland Road. There is a fee for this service. CRD Parks. The CRD issued a media release reminding all visitors to use the parks responsibly in order for the parks to remain open. So this includes the Sooke Potholes Regional Park and the Galloping Goose Regional Trail. And please also keep a physical distance from park workers as they work to keep our community clean and safe. It would also help if you could please pack in and pack out any trash, including doggy waste. Community watch is becoming important. Even while we're at home, it does help to have all eyes and ears on the neighborhood. We've received reports of vandalism rising in recent months, which diverts tax dollars from more meaningful and important work to clean up after senseless vandalism acts. Examples of this are things like supergluing garbage can lids closed and ripping branches off of trees and shrubs. Businesses. Our local Chamber of Commerce has launched their Better Buy Sooke program. This is a way for businesses to showcase an online store and also enables residents an opportunity to buy a gift card now that can be used later. If you visit betterbysouk.ca, you'll have a sense of what's happening. Since the Chamber launched this last week, they now have 30 live businesses and 30 more about to launch. They've had over 4,400 views and over 700 users. I'm also pleased to share that the Souk Lions Club that completes the business directory or the printed phone book are updating the online version for businesses at no cost and are now connecting with the Chamber. The Canada Emergency Business Account now provides up to $40,000 in government-guaranteed loans to businesses that had payrolls last year between $20,000 and $1.5 million. It had previously offered loans to businesses with a narrower range of payrolls between $50,000 and $1 million. These loans are interest-free until December 31st, 2022, and if paid off by then, 25% of the total will be forgiven. For financial support, a reminder to please check the COVID-19 information page on the district website for regular updates. This also includes a financial support information page that provides a summary and links to various financial supports to residents and businesses. This page is updated regularly as new supports are announced. Community caring. You'll note that our fire department has started up a drive-by birthday for residents. This is for anyone under the age of 12 or over 75. And the fire department is helping to celebrate these birthdays with lights and sirens during this time of social distancing. To register, there is a fillable form available on the Fire Rescue Safety section of our website. The Greater Victoria Mental Health Resource Guide is now available online and in print. And in partnership with various agencies, this guide will explore how explores mental illness, local resources, and how we can all help together. I'd also like to give a shout out to Brooke Irvin, who's been cooking up a storm for our community. Her inspirational story was picked up by Czech News last week, as she has now made over 1,200 homemade meals delivered throughout our community. As you may know, her late daughter, Hannah Day, continues to inspire, and Brooke's personal recipe in rediscovering her own strength and joy while taking care of others. Her goal in this is that no one goes to bed hungry, and she will continue as long as there is a need in our community. Thank you so much, Brooke. The Souk Food Bank continues to be busy week after week. They are in delivery mode and supporting over 200 households, just under 1,000 people in our community. Schools. Many students are online learning in virtual classrooms. To support families looking for additional resources to help their children, the Ministry of Education has created the Keep Learning website, updated almost daily with new activities for children of any age. The website receives hundreds of thousands of visitors and page views every week, and that can be found at openschool.bc.ca/keeplearning. Transportation. BC Transit is still serving Souk with an approximate 50 to 70% reduction in ridership. Additional cleaning measures have been implemented, and there's a reminder to board through the rear doors unless the ramp is needed. And please note that fares are not collected at this time. BC Transit today announced from the Board of Directors that they have made the difficult decision to defer all planned 2020-2021 expansions until 21-22 in order to focus on service and ridership recovery in every transit system. BC Transit will work closely with the Commission and the province to better understand the financial implications of this pandemic and to evaluate available funding to enable expansion planning to resume once ridership returns. This was provided to the Transit Commission that I sit on this morning. So we're just in the process of receiving this information, and it is difficult because here in Souk, we proudly had finally received our own transit plan that has necessary expansion built into it. For the Capital Regional District Board, at this time, board meetings are held every 2 weeks via teleconference. The board agendas go live per normal, and directors are telephoning into the system. All of the committees are suspended. However, commissions like CPark that have delegated authority are able to meet via teleconference. For your information, the CRD budget passed this year with no change to the requisition. Regional boards have earlier filing dates than municipalities. A few other community reminders: the Diabetes Canada donation bins. This is not the time right now to donate item at the bins. The district has been contacted from Diabetes Canada to remind residents to please hold on to the donations for now. The Casinos and John Muir school bins are overflowing and the area has become an eyesore. Our staff have been asked to help support clean up the area, so anything that's being dropped off here is likely going to be landfilled. The Sooke Elementary bins had to be removed. So please just hang on to your items at this moment. Please also stay the course with social distancing. We are making a difference together. Please go for a walk in the neighborhood and limit your shopping to essential items only as needed. A Dr. Bonnie Henry reminder: the rate of new COVID-19 cases is slowing down because of our collective actions. But we are in the eye of a hurricane right now, and to fully weather this storm, we must remain 100% committed. The modeling from BC and elsewhere clearly show that if we relax the measures too soon, we will face more severe and unnecessary damage. Please stay safe, Sooke. Continue to be there for one another. Thank you so much for all that you are doing, and thank you for your kind support.